What's up, my people? Today we are going to learn how to add product images. I mean, like adding multiple image. Maybe you're working on e-commerce website and you want to add multiple image to your into your website. So as you can see here, I have about 4 image placeholder, and we are also going to learn how to create input box, like generating input box dynamically. So here, if I click here, you can see I'm getting more input box type type in. And then here again, if I click here, okay, so right now we can select any of our products we want to add. Maybe let me just select this pattern, and then boom, you can see it displays here. And we can also drag and drop. Assume I come here. Okay, let me just select one image here like this small boy. I can drag it and drop. Boom, you can see. And here again, we can actually say, I'm coming, guys. Let me have my hand. You can see we just say product 1, and I can generate another one to type like product 2. Can generate another input, and many and as much as I can. And if I don't really like the last input, I can delete it by clicking this place. So guys, this is what we are going to create. So if you are new here, please subscribe to my channel so we get this done. First, so okay guys, as you can see, this is what we have for now. We start afresh and create create our website. So what we are going to do, let me enlarge this a little bit. So here we are going to start creating the image. And first I'm going to say const, and I'm going to say image, and set image, and that should be equals to use. We are going to use state, and here we are going to say null, 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 and another new, because we want 4 images. So once we get this, let's come over here. As you can see, I've already have this div, and I have this image section, and this is a add info or input box section. Okay, so here right now, here we are just going to get a div, and then you can also say class name, and here we are just going to say empty tick, and then we are going to just do it flag, and item center, and gap is going to be 4. So here right now, we are going to use this, and we are going to say images dot map, and then we are going to get our IMV, and then we are also going to get our um, index. And we are going to return another div here. The return div, and then we are going to set the key to the index. We're going to set the key to the index, and here we are going to call our image img. But if we have nothing in our img, so, and then once you come over my public folder, over my public folder, you see that I have this upload icon.png. So we are going to say use that upload icon.png. So we're going to use the upload icon.png. Hope the spelling is correct. Okay. It just can you leave this empty, or you can fill it anything you want. So here right now, we can now we can now index key. Okay, let's save it and see what we will get. And we have the 4 images, and let's style it. If not, it will mess up. Then we are going to use the width of 24 and the height of 24 as well. The console should be pointer, and the object should be cover, and rounded. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me just add a border, and the border color. I just use gray. I use gray 500, and after that, we are going to. I think that's all. That's all. Let's just do it this way and see what we are going to get. And we have this. So after this, we are going to use an input. Okay, let's add a rounded MD. Well, okay, because of this input, we have something like this. And then because I had this input here, that's why I do that. So we are going to have input, and this input in type will be file. And then after this, we are going to have accept, and it's going to accept image slash all. And what again? Okay, let me just now you can see we have this here, and by clicking on it, we can now be able to open I don't know what to call it, our file explorer. So right now we can use a we can hide it. So you just say class name of hidden. So it will be there, but it will be hidden. So right now, if I click on this image right now, it will still bring on our file explorer for us to shoot. And after this, right now that we have this, let me- so after this right now, um, we will start working on the logic to make it work. First thing we are going to do, we are just going to say const, and then we are going to say change image is going to be equals to this, and we are going to have a file and index as our placeholder. Sorry, that is parameter or param. So for here right now, we can say const new image is going to be equals to, we are going to use a spread operator, and then we are going to use the images. After that, we are going to say new image and its index is going to be equals to URL. Sorry, URL dot create object URL. And inside this object URL, we are going to pass in our file. After this, we are going to set the images. Set the images to new image that we defined here. So once we get this, we are going to upload the image. So we are going to say, oh, con upload image is going to be equals to, and we are going to have event and the index. We're going to use arrow function. Then here we are going to say dot prevent the fault. And after that, we are going to say const. Oh, sorry. Loading image. No, we don't need this here. We don't need this here. So we're just going to say const. We are also going to say const. Let's just call it file, which is going to be equals to dot target dot target dot file, and we are going to use 0. Yeah, that's it. Dot target dot file. We are going to use 0. So after we get this, we are going to use this change images. We are going to call these change images here, and here we are going to use the file which we created here, and the index, which is up here. And the index. And after that, we are going to come over here, and in this place that we are in this input, let me come over here and say on change. And we are going to have event. The event, then we are going to have function, and then we are going to call it. Calling it as function. And here we are going to have the event and our index, which we created here. So we have this event and the index. So right now, let's see if it will work. So if I click right now, and I select this image, I click, voila. Now you can see it is working. If I click this one too, and select another image, let me just like this product, I click, voila. Now you can see it is working. We can work to all up to all the 4 input. Now we have 4 different images selected. You see how cool it is. So right now we are going to do the drag and drop. So to do the drag, say let's come over here and create a cost, say drag drop. Just for the name like that. We're going to have this, we're going to have in, and we're going to have index, just as we have here. And that's going to equal to this. And we are going to, this place we are going to use a dot prevent default so that the page will not refresh when we drag and drop. So event. So right now we are going to say const, let's just say file is going to equal to e dot data trunk dot file, and we are going to have the index of 0. So after this, then we call, let's just copy this function here, change images, and paste it here. This is referred to this file, and this index is in this parameter. So right now, with the drag and drop, we are going to come over here. So, and here we define this key. Let's expand it and let's say on drop. On drop is going to have event arrow function, and then drag and drop, we paste it here. Then we have the e, and we're going to have the index as well. Just say it's very, very simple and easy. So this drag and drop, we have it here. That's why we are using it over here. So right now, after that, we are going to prevent the page from refreshing. So we are going to just say on drag over, on drag over. It's going to have event, and it's going to have the e dot prevent default. And I think that is it, guys. Let's check our function. Let's check our logic to see whether it is correct. Data transfer clients. Right over here, drag over and drop. Okay, I think that is it. Let's save. And for this, we are going to open this, and we are going to check for any image. Let me just use this cloth as example. So now I drag this cloth and put it over here. And you can see it comes. And if I come over again and this small boy, I can drag it and drop it here. As you can see, it works. Drag this one over here and it works. And if I click, I can have the option to select the image as well. So this section is working. Drag and drop, and also select from the other thing. So another thing that I like doing right now, we have ended this. So we are going to come over to learn how to create add info box dynamically to generate dynamical info box or input box. So please forgive my English. Let's just say const. Let's create a function to group this image. Let's just say group image and to be equals to this and the so right now let's select all the from here down to here. Let's cut here we need to have the arrow function. So right now we can paste, and for some reason here right now I have this constant of a group image func. So here we are going to return, as you can see, all this. If I hover over them right now, you can see that the upload image is declared, but its value never read. And this one too is also declared, but its value never read. So we are just going to return them. Return curly bracket, and we are going to say image, upload image, comma, drag, drop. Right now, it doesn't have problem, but it will only exist inside this group image func. So outside here, we're just going to say constant variable, then we paste it, and then we're going to assign it to this function. And after this, we're just going to call this function over here. Right now, now we can actually close it here. This is just to make our code more cleaner and simple. So if I go here right now and I refresh the page, okay, right now, let's check if everything is still working. And you can see everything is still working. And then by dragging the image, it still works. So our code is working fine. even after we group the image. So I did it this way so that we can actually have space to do other things. Right now, let me also close this place because this section is over. We are going to work on this down one. So here we are going to say, um, let's create a div. I'm going to class the class name and then just empty it. That is, we are just going to say, hmm, okay, we are going to create an input box. And before we do anything, we are going to come over to the top here and say const, let's just say info and then set info, which is going to be equals to use state. And here we are just going to have empty array. So here right now, as we have this empty array, so inside this input box, inside this div, we are going to uh, create input box. It's going to be test. Let's have a placeholder. It's going to be add, sorry, add info. And we're going to have a class name, which is going to be W full and the border and the border color, border gray, gray 500. And we are going to have rounded of mid and the outline is going to be known. And then focus, we are going to have, sorry, ring. And then focus again, we are going to have ring of 2. So it will be big. And then focus again, we are going to have ring, ring of sorry, ring of green 500. Perfect. Going to have px4 and py2. Let's see what we have. And we can see we have this input box. And once we focus on it, we have it this way. Perfect. Right now that we have this, we can now say we are now going to use this info. I'm going to say info and dot map. And okay, then we are going to have a item and in that after this we are going to return and the div in this div um, in this div let us have key the index. Let's copy this input that we created here and move it inside this div. Right now, if I save right now, everything is still working. And then we are going to come over here and say value. Value is going to be the item. Value is going to be the item. And we're going to have on change. On change. But before we add anything inside this on change, let's create the let's create this. Let's create a logic, and this is going to be const at the change in is going to be equals to yes, we are going to just have index and value, and we are going to have the arrow function. Index and value, we have arrow function. So the next thing we are going to do is by doing const constant variable, and yes, it's going to have a don't know what I should call it. Let me just say copy info going to be equals to this, and going to be dot dot. We're going to use spread operator and we spread the info, then comma, empty array, empty string. And after this, we are going to say copy info. It's going to be with the index, and it's going to be equals to here we are going to use okay, we are going to use the value. Send it to value. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's so. And after that, we are going to set the info to, we are going to set the info to the copy. And here right now, let's go to the unchange, and we're going to have our event. And we our function. We are going to call the change info. We have our events under the index. And that is it. So right now, let me see if they're going to have an error. We get an error. Components changing an uncontrollable input. This is likely. Okay. Changing for the problem is here. Sorry guys. So we are going to use the index first. Index. Then we are going to say e dot target dot value, because it is the value we are really wanting to change. You understand? So sorry for that, guys. So inside this on change, we have event, and we are going to use this change info that we created here to make sure that once we change, we know say we are typing in only one input. So let me save and come back here. You see, we don't have the error again. And when we type, but the problem, there is also problem again. It keeps generating input even when we don't ask him to generate input. So that is a second problem. Okay, guys, as you can see, we have this empty string here. empty string here, we are going to delete it. Let's delete this empty string here and see what will happen. Now we save. Let's refresh the page. Okay, right now, let's type again and see what will happen. Okay, you can see that's uh, we have solved that problem, which was that's because we added an extra empty box here. That's why it is coming that time. So right now we have already solved this problem. What we are going to do is that we are going to have uh, we are going to have through this thing here, two button to control to add or delete info in input box. So here our div ended here. So let's start from here. Let's start from here, and then we are going to say we are going to use div. Here we are going to use class name. We're going to reflex item center, and then justify between. Define 35 between. And here we are going to have two buttons. Button number 1. So we have two buttons. And the first one, we are going to use img. And remember that in our public folder, we have this add icon. So we are just going to say add icon.png opposite and icon.png. So right now we are going to have a class name to it. We're going to be width 5 and the cursor going to be pointer. So right now if I save, we have something here. We're going to empty magic top 4. So right now we have this add-in, and for here I'm going to have the class name in this button. Have the width 5, height is going to be 5, and you're going to display block rounded to be full, and we are going to say border what will be 3500, and okay, and then 3500. Okay, let me save. Okay, we don't define borders, we just define the border first, and we just use border 2. Now if we save, now we see we have this. The console is pointed already. So inside the button, they just create some P and I have a class name to it, and this class name is just going to be width to be 1, and just okay, width 1, and height 1, and then block, and the BG is going to be, let's say, black, and let's save. Let's have to width 2, and ML 2. Okay, ML1. Okay, right now we have this one here, and we have the block, and we have the minor. So right now, let's add a logic or functionality on them. So once we click, it gives us an empty input box. So here right now, we can now say const add in block equals this. And this is going to be more easy. So we are just going to say, we are going to set the info, set info, and we have this, and we are just going to have the info, that's that info, or empty box. So right now, if I copy this and come down to the button where we are adding the image, so you can see this add icon, then we're just going to on click, and then I paste it here, add input box, which we define here. So right now, if I save and come back here and click, we have one. Right, so let me go to the where we have the input. Let me just say NB. So right now, as you can see, how it looks like. If I will keep adding more and more inputs as I want. And if I type on this, I can type on this, I can type on this, and I can also type on this. So our add functionality is working. Now let's work on the removing the input. So we just say const remove that's going to be equal to this here. We have this. So here we are just going to say let input copy equals to but sorry, before we do this let, we are just going to say if we are going to use if statement to when you check if input info dot length is greater than 1. If it's greater than 1, then we do this let input copy equals to the dot info. Then we are going to say input copy dot. Remember this pop actually removes something from array. So right now it removed the last index from array. So right now, after we pop it out, then we are going to set the info to input copy. That makes sense. Let's check. If we make it 0, it is going to take everything, but we want 1 to remain. So let's start from 1. And now let's copy this guy here. Okay, let's copy this one here and come back. For here is where we are going to add it. So we're going to say on click. That will be this guy here. This remove input box, which we created here. Now save and come back to our website. If I click, one has removed, the second one has removed, the third one removed, the second one removed. But if I click again, you see, it is not removing. And if I click, I can add, I can remove, I can type, I can add, I can type again, I can remove, I can't remove this, but I can delete this. So that is it, guy. And again, let's clean our code just the way we do it before. For here, we are just going to have a comment image. We are going to come here and say in input. So here, here, let's say const, what did you say, group input box is going to be equals to the arrow function. Then we are going to copy all these things, cut them, Ctrl X, then paste. And right now you can see it is now inside this group. Now we are going to return it. So I say return change input info, add it here, add input box, it here, and last is remove input box, add it here. Let's copy from here and come down and say const. Let's paste it there. It's going to be equal to group input box, and this is a function. So we have it done. We can actually close it and we can copy it and paste it over here. So we can do this. So we have this right now. You can see our code is now smaller and more clean. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, kindly support me by subscribing to my YouTube channel, or if you are here on TikTok, you can give me a follow. And I will be posting on Facebook too very soon. So guys, let's build this community. If this get more engagement, I will be bringing more beautiful React course like this every week. Yeah, thank you for watching. Enjoy your day.